Right now on IUSTV News, strikes on Iran could push U.S. gas prices up $3. What this could mean for drivers nationwide.
And an IU student charged for child sex abuse material, what we now know ahead.
But first, the IU student government results are in. We'll tell you who took home the victory.
Up and down temperatures and potential flooding. I'll have more on that for you later.
Election season has wrapped up here at IU. We'll introduce you to the new student body leaders. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elena Princinsky.
And I'm MiRey Fernandez. From campaign voting turnout, we'll break down this year's election stacked up. Our Josh Summers starts us off.
All right, thanks guys. The polls closed last Wednesday at 10 p.m. Just over 4,000 students participated in this year's elections. Here are the preliminary results.
Foremost, Empower is about the students. We want to make sure that you guys feel safe and protected on campus. And ever since I've come to IU, I have seen a multitude of dangerous and frankly disappointing things from IU administration that I would like to change, that we would like to change and fight for you guys if you give us this.
The preliminary results are in, and with 62.06% of the vote, the Empower ticket, comprised of presidential candidate Alexei Avellaneda and vice presidential candidate Anna Sophia Wynn-Loeb, has won.
I've been saying it a lot, to have a community behind you when you're doing something, because we are nothing if we're not the people with us.
They defeated the Ford ticket, comprised of presidential candidate Dennis Lee and vice presidential candidate Anna Wagner.
I voted to fund the LGBTQ+ Culture Center. I also voted to protect free speech on campus. When an artist that was invited to come was sadly, she was unexpectedly uninvited due to the social climate on campus.
Avellaneda has been involved in student government for the past 3 years, while Wynn-Loeb is a new member to the organization.
I really want them to know that we are ready to stand up for them, especially when, IU administrations or student government administrations have tried in the past to be nice and polite, and I feel like that just hasn't worked in the past. So we're trying a new approach, and hopefully they see that we really care about them.
The results must be certified by the IU Student Government Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will convene to certify the results no later than 5 days after financial statements are submitted and election violation cases are resolved. If the results hold, the Empower ticket will be sworn into office for their year-long term on April 15th. More information about IU student government can be found at iustudentgovernment.indiana.edu. Back to you guys.
In other IU student news, an IU Bloomington student is behind bars following child exploitation charges. 20-year-old Ashwin Veerapan was charged with 3 felony counts of child exploitation after a year-long investigation. Detectives in Minnesota and Michigan traced the illegal files back to a university network IP address, which led investigators to Veerapan. He is one of 4 people in the Bloomington area arrested on child sex crime charges in just the past 3 weeks. Authorities say the cases are not connected.
As the new war in Iran rages on halfway across the world, the strikes are already making waves close to home as geopolitical tensions rise. One of the main areas being impacted is the rising gas prices. The conflict has closed the Strait of Hormuz, which is a massive export channel for international oil trade. Some Bloomington gas stations saw prices hit over $3.50 per gallon last week, a major increase from before the strikes.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Indiana is suing Ball State University. The lawsuit, which was filed on March 2nd, claims that 2 Ball State policies violate students' First and 14th Amendment rights. Students were told they had violated these policies after a November 19th incident where they attempted to deliver a message to Ball State President Jeffrey Mearns. One of these students, Cooper Archer, was suspended and trespassed after a university review board found him guilty of violations of these policies.
Confrontational, or much more like, listen, like we've reviewed these policies, we've reviewed, our rights as like not only students but citizens of the United States, and we don't feel we need to leave. We don't feel you have any right to kick us out. And if you can provide like a good reason, we'll listen to it and we'll leave. But she failed to do so.
The ACLU lawsuits name 4 Ball State administrators as defendants. A statement from the ACLU says they are seeking an injunction against the policies and expungement of the affected students' records. All right, let's turn to weather now. Guys, yesterday it was so beautiful outside. The UV was 5. I went outside to tan. What were you guys up to?
That's so much fun. I was playing pickleball with a lot of my friends. What'd you do, Audrey?
Yeah, it was so nice outside. I decided to take a frat lap, and thankfully it is still nice today. As you can tell by these temperatures, we have 74, 70s, so pretty much like low to mid 70s today, which is super nice. That's perfect. Overnight, you're going to see it starting to drop a little bit. So we have at 9 p.m. 47 down to 3 a.m. It's going to be about 38 degrees out. And then here's my dog, Sydney. Look how cute she is. Tomorrow morning, if you're wanting to take your dog out, it's going to be a little wet and rainy. It's going to be 67 starting right at 6 a.m. And then it's actually going to cool down to 66 as the morning goes on, just because of that cold rain coming in. And then coming up, I'm going to be talking to you about a severe storm risk. We're going to be talking about spring break temperatures, yay, and some potential flooding. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Audrey. We'll be back to tell you later, but if you are looking to enjoy a new artistic experience on campus, look no further than the Eskenazi's newest exhibit. Muliana Vital Ecosystems is currently on display at the Eskenazi Museum of Art. The exhibit highlights themes of ocean pollution and underwater habitats, while blending different textiles to create a colorful experience for visitors.
What's really important for this exhibition and for the artist Muliana himself is this important connectivity between human well-being and planetary well-being. And so he really believes in the value of community and the fact that like our own health and wellness, both like physically and like emotionally, is tied to the well-being of the environment.
The display is located at the Henry Radford Wing on the first floor and will run until June 28th. For more information, check out Eskenazi Museum of Art website.
Still ahead, a $50 million discrepancy in proposed budgets for a new jail.
Plus, Kirkwood Avenue is remaining open to cars this summer, what this means for Bloomington residents.
And coming up next, businesses' reactions to Kirkwood not closing for pedestrians. We'll have the details when we come back.
Welcome back. Although the City Council established seasonal outdoor dining on Kirkwood for every summer, Mayor Carrie Thompson announced that Kirkwood will remain open to vehicles this summer.
That's right. The city said there are limited resources and staff to organize continuous outdoor programming. However, owner of local favorites Bob Costello thinks the city could have done more to collaborate with IU and the community to put the street to use.
I went to Kirkwood and spoke to businesses and locals to hear their reactions to the news. Kirkwood Avenue is doing something they haven't done since before the COVID-19 pandemic. The historic road will remain open to all vehicles for the remainder of 2026. I had the chance to speak with local businesses and other locals about their opinions on the Bloomington Board of Public Works decision.
For business purposes, it's great. Safety, it's not as great. I feel like a time limit. I think that 8 o'clock or 9, the street should shut down.
While some businesses like the decision, others don't agree with it.
From a restaurant server perspective, it definitely cuts down on business that we could potentially get during the summer. It's more permits, more fees, just makes it kind of more of an obstacle for us to earn that money during the summer. We have a lot of people that are coming to visit, right? A lot of people who are here on student visits, athletes visits, and they want the Kirkwood experience. They want to be able to sit on the street in the sun with people that they're visiting with. They want that Bloomington experience and that Bloomington summer, and that's being on Kirkwood and being on the street and having as much space to serve as many people as possible.
Like Lenny's, some pedestrians think that the cars will take away from the so-called Kirkwood experience.
I don't know, I think this is definitely like a landmark of Bloomington, and I think we should kind of keep it closed so we can enjoy it.
Overall, business owners and pedestrians were mixed about the decision. Bloomington staff will prepare a Kirkwood corridor study in 2027 to decide if this decision is permanent.
There is a $50 million discrepancy in proposed budgets for a new jail in Indiana. The County Council proposed a targeted budget of $118 million for the new facility, while the County Commissioners proposed a maximum budget of $171 million. The $171 million is an absolute maximum and uses funds that could be directed toward other projects. The Council and Commissioners still have to decide where the new jail will be built. The City Council met today to discuss.
The Office of Student Life has placed the Sigma Alpha Mu fraternity on a cease and desist last week for hazing. This fraternity now joins 6 other IU organizations currently on cease and desist. This is not the first offense for Sigma Alpha Mu, as they were placed on disciplinary probation from December 2022 to December 2023, and more recently in 2025, as they were included in an order from the IFC and Pan-Hellenic Association. The investigation is still ongoing.
Bloomington's 14th annual Ego Heroes Art Contest has opened submissions. This year's theme is Our Nature at Night, which invites participants to incorporate recycled materials to explore the world that comes out after dark. All ages are encouraged to participate, from elementary age kids to 18+ community members. Creative formats like paintings, sculptures, poems, skits, and songs are accepted as submissions. Entries must be submitted between 8 a.m. on March 17th and 5 p.m. on April 7th.
Welcome back, Audrey. The other day, I got notifications on my phone and I heard tornado sirens. I guess it was a drill going on for tornadoes. Are we going to be seeing a possible chances of tornadoes coming up?
Yeah, so unfortunately, that drill was practiced for what could potentially be coming up this week. We are going to be in a severe storm risk Tuesday through Monday. You can see here this red, pretty close to where we're at. It's going to be pretty scary. I'll get more into a little bit of those details in a second. So as you can see, the winds are going to be as high as 20 miles per hour. There's going to be very likely flooding, and we also are going to be having some isolated tornado risks potentially. So that drill, hopefully you guys practice it today because it might be coming in handy later this week. Once again, our current temperatures, we have about 74 to 70, but those will be dropping later this week. Unfortunately, it's going to get down into the low 40s, high 30s again. And then on Thursday, looking ahead, as I said, 35, 40, 42. It's just going to be straight clouds, not really any sun. So get your outside time in while you still can. And then spring break temperatures. I wanted to include this because I know a lot of you guys will be going down to Florida. So we have Fort Lauderdale down here. We have Miami, Orlando. It's all going to be pretty low 80s, high 70s. Perfect. There goes. 1 second. Anyways, so it'll be pretty much in those 80s. The UV hopefully will be high. All right, and then I wanted to get a quick look at our 7-day forecast. So it's going to be pretty much in all over the place, actually. As you can see, all these crazy colors. We have some rain, we have sun. It's just all over the place.
So no more pickleball.
No more pickleball. You're going to want your umbrella. You're going to want a swimsuit. You're going to want all of the above because the weather this week is going to be crazy. So definitely expect some potential tornado warnings coming ahead.
All right, thanks, Audrey.
Still ahead, March is about to get mad. Our Noah Seuss is breaking down how IU athletics is looking as the tournament gets closer.
The sun has set on the IU basketball regular season, but that lonesome feeling is not at fans' door just yet. That is because IU basketball will be playing in the Big Ten tournament, and fans get to watch Indiana alumni Kyle Schwarber play in the World Baseball Classic. I am Noah Seuss, telling you the latest in sports. Let's start with Indiana Hoosiers men's basketball. The Hoosiers entered the Big Ten men's basketball tournament as the 10th seed, coming off a split in their final 2 regular season games against Minnesota and Ohio State. Sam Alexis recorded a double-double in Indiana's 77-47 win over Minnesota, as the Hoosiers defense held the Golden Gophers to a season-low 47 points. However, Indiana dropped its regular season finale to Ohio State 91-78. The Hoosiers will make their Big Ten tournament debut today at 6:30 p.m. Now let's shift over to Indiana women's basketball. The Hoosiers pulled off a big comeback in the first round of the Big Ten tournament, overcoming a 45-28 halftime deficit to beat Nebraska 72-69. The win marked Indiana's fourth straight victory and may have hurt Nebraska's chances of making the NCAA tournament. However, the Hoosiers' run ended in the second round where they fell to 11th-ranked Ohio State 83-59. Indiana has declined the invite to the WNIT tournament. Moving to the World Baseball Classic, Team USA has won its first 3 group stage games, defeating Brazil, Great Britain, and Mexico. The 3 aces of the U.S. pitching staff, Logan Webb, Tyreek Skubal, and Paul Skeens, have all delivered dominant performances on the mound. And for you Indiana baseball fans out there, Kyle Schwarber is 5 for 12 so far with 1 home run and 2 RBIs in the tournament. And for the latest on all things IU sports, be sure to tune in each week to Hoosier Sports Night. You can catch it on Thursdays on IUSTV. Guys, this is one of the greatest sports times in the entire year. What are you guys most looking forward to?
Well, the easy answer is March Madness, but I'm rooting for Puerto Rico in the World Baseball Classic. Mexico lost, so I got to root for the other half, so I'm going to go for Puerto Rico in the WBC.
I'm also looking forward to March Madness.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to the end of the NHL season coming up here.
All right. Thanks, Noah.
Let's get one last check of the forecast this week, Audrey.
Yeah, so again, as you can see, it's pretty crazy. We have lots of rain, sun, temperatures rising and dropping. So don't plan on being able to play pickleball or lay outside. Make sure you're checking the weather before.
Thanks, Audrey. And thank you for watching IUSTV News.
For updates between newscasts, check out IUSTV.com and be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X. We're back here next week. See you then.